This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 16th day of October in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. While squatters are being flooded off of the Gaisuco lands at Success on the east coast of the Marara, President Irfan Ali today called on those squatters to do the right thing, adding that squatter settlements are not sustainable. Speaking at the opening of a two-day event organized by the Ministry of Housing and Water for new house lot applicants and those receiving titles, the president outlined his government's plans for the housing sector. He said the government will be focused on developing more housing communities across the country that are sustainable. On the issue of the squatters at Success who are being forced off of state lands, President Ali said the government wants them to own their own lands, but they must go about doing so the right way.
My brothers and sisters in Success, who we have reached out to on many occasions, it is not that we want you to be dislodged in the area. We want you to own your homes too. That is why we sent the housing team so many times to see you. But there's the right way in doing things and the wrong way. In Guyana, we have to get accustomed to doing things the right way. Otherwise, we'll be developing communities that are not sustainable. We want to help you. We're going to move as fast as possible in this program. But I'm appealing to Guyanese. Let us do it the right way.
In making a call for Guyanese to go about the right way in getting ownership of state lands, the president said there is little to no value in developing squatter settlements.
If you invest $5 million in a squatter settlement, there is no value because it cannot be used as collateral. If you invest it in a structured scheme, there is value. You can capitalize that sometimes for more than $5 million, $7 million, $8 million.
Mr. Ali noted that the government will also focus on housing development in outlying and hinterland regions. Despite coronavirus concerns, thousands of persons gathered this morning at the National Stadium Providence to file applications and inquire about previous applications. The Housing Ministry has made it clear that the event, which wraps up tomorrow, is primarily for first-time house lot applicants and persons who have to uplift their land titles after their names were recently published. More news coming up in a moment. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
Design, photography, advertising, you name it, we do it. At Mass Global Media, we offer high-quality, versatile media and marketing solutions that will help your business reach its goals. Contact us now if you want a website developed, graphic design, social media marketing, animation, and much more by emailing info@massglobalmedia.com or call 658-5636. Mass Global Media. Vision, execution, results.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
weathered every storm
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class or religion.
We
are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Welcome back. Leader of the opposition, Joe Harmon, led an opposition parliamentary team to the community of Success on the east coast of the Marara this morning to meet with squatters who are being flooded off of state lands by Guy Succo. Mr. Harmon called out the government for its treatment of the squatters and made it clear that the state must bear the responsibility for the way the squatters are being treated.
Whether it is Nissil, whether it is Guy Succo, the fact of the matter is that it is the state. It is the state, and therefore whatever takes place here, the state has to bear responsibility for it. Whether it's Guy Succo, whether it's Nissil, whether it's Central Housing and Planning, all of them are the state. Correct. Right? And so whatever takes place here, it is the state that is responsible for everything that happens here. So I just want you to get that very clear. You don't have to make any distinction between this one, that one, and that one. It's the state.
The opposition leader said the government cannot run from its responsibility to citizens and ought not treat citizens callously. He said the opposition will see how it could assist those who have been affected and displaced by the Guy Succo flooding. However, he noted that he intends to raise the concerns of the squatters at a higher level.
But insofar as the land is concerned, that we believe that we will have to keep engaging the state to ensure that they have an outcome which is reasonable in the circumstance. You cannot shoot people, you can't flood them out. Those are slave masters' mentality. That's what the slave master did to us, to slaves many years ago when they wanted to get them off of land. So that mentality that is coming back is a slave master's mentality. And we have to warn the government against this approach. Because you're Guyanese. It's not like if you are come from some other part of the world and you're occupying here. You're Guyanese. And so we are going to insist on this. We're going to insist that you be treated humanely. And we are going to insist that they find a resolution to this problem that does not involve shooting people, flooding them out, and treating them like animals.
Many of the squatters explained that they have been forced to move to higher ground because of the early morning flooding of the lands by Guy Succo. The state-owned sugar company maintains that it wants the squatters off of the lands so that it can move ahead with sugarcane cultivation. The number of COVID-19 deaths in Guyana climbed to 109 today as the Ministry of Health reported that a 71-year-old woman from Region 4 and a 48-year-old man from Region 1 were the latest fatalities. The death toll has been climbing steadily in the past 2.5 months. New cases have been climbing even more. 52 new cases have been recorded as of midnight last night. With several persons still in the coronavirus intensive care unit, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony today said plans are moving apace to have ICU facilities completed at the Infectious Diseases Hospital at Liliendal. Guyana recorded its first case of coronavirus back in March. Since then, more than 3,000 additional cases have been recorded across the country in every region. Let's tell you now that the Ministries of Home Affairs and Public Works are looking to work along with the Georgetown City Council to better organize vending in the Stabroek Market area and the minibus parks which are nearby. Home Affairs Minister Robeson Ben, Public Works Minister Juan Edgel, and police and city officials inspected the situation at the market square this morning. The Home Affairs Minister said there is a clear need for the environment to be better controlled so that it could be safer for everyone.
Well, we are not happy, of course, with a lot of selling that is going on the roadway, which should be open to traffic and to the fire service assets, the fire trucks and the ambulances. So that's very difficult situation. At the moment we are requiring that the persons who are selling on the traffic roadway to move off of the roadway and to try with the public works people to rationalize where we can the lane arrangements.
During the exercise today, it was found that vendors were vending inappropriately and buses were parked in a manner that caused congestion and could lend to crimes taking place. The Stabroek Market area has been of concern to the Georgetown City Council for many years, and many efforts to get the area better organized have failed in the past. Minister Ben said the congestion must become something of the past and cannot be tolerated.
I think we all know that the situation around this area is precarious, is congested, and dangerous. And that we have to try again, I would say I've tried before, to bring a reasonable situation here with respect to traffic flow and the safety of persons traversing the area. So this is the beginning of another effort from the point of view of the Ministry of Home Affairs, the Ministry of Public Works. Of course, the police traffic chief is here, and the commander for the division, Georgetown, here, so that we could strategically bring an improvement in this area.
The two ministries are hoping to convene meetings with various stakeholders soon to address the concerns in the Stabroek Market area. There's a spring tide advisory that will continue until the 19th of October. The predicted tides indicate above normal levels for the impending period. The Sea and River Defense Department considers there are several areas to be particularly susceptible to possible flooding as a result of storm surges which may induce overtopping of the sea and river defense structures. The areas include Pomeroon Riverbanks and Susie to Sarah and Maria's Pleasure to Mearshorg, Good Success, Zealandia, and Moor Farm, Wakenham Island. Canefield, Retrieve Endeavour, and Blenheim Cane Garden, Leguan Island, and Windsor Forest to the Willem on the west coast of Demerara, along with Zealot, Parika Market area, Salem to Sparta, on the east bank of Essequibo, Water Street here in Georgetown, and Helena 1 and 2 in Mahaika. Additionally, there could be possible overtopping in Belvedere to Cottage, Mycone, and the Wellington Park and Lonsdale on the east bank of Berbice, along with Sheet Anchor in the Conjo River. The high tides are expected to be on Saturday around 4:30 in the afternoon at a height of 3.36 meters, and on Sunday at 5:08 p.m. at a height of 3.31 meters. In addition to the areas mentioned, all persons residing along the banks of rivers and low-lying coastal communities are advised to take precautions against possible flooding. The Public Relations Officer at the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, Royden James, was this morning fired with immediate effect, with the Commission declaring that his position has been made redundant with the restructuring plan that is taking place. The assistant to the Public Relations Officer was also dismissed, thereby disbanding the entire Public Relations Department at the Commission. Mr. James, who joined the Commission in 2018, had just over 8 months remaining on his contract. In the dismissal letter, which was signed by the acting Human Resource Manager W. Reed Blackman, Mr. James was informed that he will be paid 1 month's salary in lieu of notice of termination of his contract, along with the corresponding benefits. As the Public Relations Officer at the Lands and Surveys Commission, James was instrumental in creating more visibility for the body on social media and in the press, with various broadcast programs. He was also the beneficiary of international training in India and China on covering and writing on land matters. The Commissioner of the Lands and Surveys Commission, Trevor Ben, was recently sent on administrative leave by the government. It is unlikely that his contract will be renewed. Since taking office back in August, the PP Civic Administration has been accused by the opposition of unleashing a firing squad on many professionals in the public service, dismissing political appointees and non-political appointees alike. On Thursday, the head of the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission was fired from her job with immediate effect, with absolutely no reason being given. Across the region is coming up next. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
We all know a strong educational foundation is a key to successful learning. Global Technology combines award-winning curriculum with innovative technology and teacher support to help students reach their potential. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how global technology can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Been through it all
But as a people, we have
Weathered every storm.
and risen to every challenge.
because it is the people of Guyana
That gives it its strength.
all the people,
Regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Across the region right now, Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has hit back at the British Member of Parliament, who raised the plight of Trinidad and Tobago nationals who have been stranded in the UK due to the closure of the borders in Trinidad and Tobago since March. Speaking at the People's National Movement post-budget meeting in Belmont, Mr. Rowley described the Conservative representative in the British Parliament as an irritant UK MP. He said the United National Congress in Trinidad had found him to raise the issue in the UK Parliament. Rowley said he expressed concern about the matter when he met with a newly appointed British High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking in the UK Parliament on Tuesday, Baker appealed to the Trinidad and Tobago government to repatriate its citizens stranded in the UK. A former Mexican defense minister has been charged with drug trafficking and laundering money while holding public office, U.S. prosecutors say. General Zabita was arrested at Los Angeles at the airport on Thursday. He is due to make a court appearance on 4 charges in California. His charges include conspiracy to distribute heroin, cocaine, and marijuana in the U.S., along with other drugs. The prosecutors have accused him of helping the H2 cartel smuggle drugs into the U.S. Prosecutors say they have evidence of communications between the general and a senior leader of the H2 cartel. They have requested that he be held in detention until his trial, arguing the general poses a significant risk of flight. And finally tonight, international news. State election officials across the U.S. are reporting record numbers of voters casting their ballots ahead of Election Day on the 3rd of November. More than 22 million Americans have voted early by Friday, either in person or by mail, according to the U.S. Election Project. At the same point in 2016, about 6 million votes had been cast. Experts say the surge in early voting correlates to the coronavirus pandemic, which has caused many people to seek alternatives to Election Day voting. On Tuesday, Texas, a state that has relatively tight restrictions on who can qualify for postal voting, set a record for most ballots cast on the first day of early voting. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.